You're listening to the Youth Critic Podcast on KHZ Network. Find us on Facebook at DecibelUNG Radio and find us on Twitter at DecibelUNG. If you like this episode, please leave a like and comment on our iTunes page at KHZ Network. And now for the podcast.
If I told you about her, the princess without voice, what would I say?
Eliza, come on. Eliza, hurry.
She deaf?
Mute, sir. She can hear you.
You clean that lab, you get out.
This may very well be the most sensitive asset ever to be housed in this facility.
Welcome to the Youth Critic Podcast, everyone. Joining me today is Andy Comer.
Hello.
Nick Brisbay.
Howdy.
And Chris Patton.
I wish we were still in the other podcast.
Kale said to pretend it didn't happen.
Oh man,
And
that
the
one
actual-
that was fun.
Good God.
Can we go back?
Kale doesn't even
No.
know.
No, Gene hasn't introduced himself
Hey.
yet, and he's the real hero.
He's nothing
Hey, what's up?
you deserve.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad I could help you troubleshoot stuff.
You're my engineer and the co-host of this show. Oh my God. So anyway, what's happening today on the Youth Critic Podcast is I could not get any of my tech to work. So Gene is actually hosting the podcast.
Yeah.
And with
Well,
that,
thank me.
so please go over to the Waffle Press and give them some much needed love. They're Gene's really helping me out here. Anyway, today on the show, we are going to be talking about the best of 2017. Each of us are going to talk about our number one picks, and then we'll end the show with our most anticipated movies of 2018. So,
Yes.
Gene, since you are the host, why don't you start by talking about your number one pick?
For best movie of 2017, I think I will. But I was going to go with the Shape of Water because it's Del Toro at his most Del Toro, yes. I love all his creatures, and this one was just like it was kind of like his Meno. I love B movies and like all the creature films. So just seeing this was such a delight. And Michael Shannon is also at his most Michael Shannon. Yes. So it was cool to see him just like Cutlass as a villain,
He's doing a lot of work
Shannon?
this year.
Yeah, he did. He gets in a lot of stuff. He was even in Michael Shannon was in.
Yeah, he was really good in the movie, and not to spoil my part of the podcast, but that's also my favorite movie of the year as well, is The Shape of Water.
Oh, okay.
But before we get to my thoughts, Nick, what about you? What is your number one pick of 2017?
Blade Runner 2049.
Oh wow, interesting choice, Blade. Why do you love Blade Runner 2049?
Because honestly, I didn't expect to love it at first, and then I saw it again, and I just sat back and actually soaked it all in. I wasn't tired. I wasn't coming off a 6-hour shift. I hadn't been up for a whole day. Whenever I saw it the second time, I actually got to notice certain plot details. and I didn't have that initial shock factor that I had initially. And I got to sit down and analyze it. It was just a gorgeous film. Denis Villeneuve is one of my favorite directors working right now, and just the visual style of it, that's whole combined with the numerous plot twists in the movie and the solid sequel of a movie that I totally enjoyed watching. It was just I loved it. I loved it so much.
Chris?
Oh, well, of course, my favorite film of 2017 was Geostorm. No, my favorite film of 2017 was Logan. Because it proved that you could. It was another one of those superhero movies that did not feel like a superhero movie, much like Dark Knight. I mean, what else is there to say? It's kind of bittersweet personally for me, because right when I get a Wolverine movie that I've wanted, and one that I think is probably like not only one of the best pictures of the year, but one of my favorite films of all time, I'm upset that it's also the last one. So whereas it could have been like, oh, this is a good, now we get more like this, but no, it's the last one. So I'll take the one, I guess.
Yeah.
But everyone's performances in that were great. I thought it was a great way to end Hugh Jackman's, more than a decade long stint as the character.
18 years.
I loved it. Well, one thing I was not actually expecting, even from the trailers, I wasn't expecting it to be more like a Western. Like, it was really much like a Western, like the genre, the Western film. And honestly, I really liked the villains. I thought that the X-23, the little girl, she was fantastic. She's like one of the only. I don't like child actors, so when I say I thought she was great, and she doesn't say barely anything, then that's like she's like one of the best child actors I've ever seen. And honestly, I'd love to see a movie with her character going forward. Spoilers, she lives, obviously, but I wish that's the way the X-Men movies go forward. Is they're more like standalone films instead of like being like interconnected, time travel, alternate time, like history stuff. I did just more like personal stories about the characters themselves. So yeah, that was my favorite movie of 2017.
Andy?
Well, I'm glad that you saved the best for last, because obviously you're all wrong. The best movie of 2017 was obviously War for the Planet of the Apes.
Oh.
It was War for the Planet of the Apes because, it what?
Oh, I said I won't disagree with that.
Yeah,
that was my second pick.
Yeah, War for the Planet of the Apes is the cap to one of the greatest trilogies of all time. I would say Dawn is better than War, but, it's still a little premature. It still hasn't been out for a whole year, so we got to let it sink in. But, Rise, Dawn, and War together is one whole story, is just so fucking phenomenal that we're not worthy. Like, the first time I saw this, my theater had the triple feature, leading in to War the night before it came out, and it was just a perfect way for me to get into that mode and just like take on this whole story. And it was just great storytelling, great visuals. Andy Serkis knocks it out of the park for a third consecutive time in this franchise alone. And each of these characters that we've grown to love just like have great compelling stories that other blockbusters are not even close to getting in any way, shape, or form. And then on top of that, it has a spectacle that all the other ones do. It's just a phenomenal movie, and like I said, we're not worthy of the trilogy, let alone this film.
Not worthy! We're not worthy!
This film.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally forgot about War for the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
I know, it's insane. We had so many great movies.
Well, it also feels like 2017 was like 3 years long too. That didn't really help the fact.
Hey, that's what I said earlier in the non-cast.
Non-cast.
That's what I'm
One of those
calling
years.
it.
Like literally, if
The
it wasn't for
podcast
Letterboxd,
that did
I would
not
never
exist.
remember all the movies that come out each year.
The
show
podcast
that
I was
you-
not in there.
That felt like it was 3 years long. Anyway,
Well,
Oh, but,
anyway, but yeah.
edit that
It was
out.
just-
a good contender though that I didn't really talk about, and I now that I'm thinking about it a little more too, would actually be a really good one. Was Baby Driver was a really good film. Edgar Wright did fantastic with that as well, and I will be seriously surprised if that doesn't get any nominations tomorrow morning.
God, I forgot about that movie too.
Oh, that was what I was going to say about Planet of the Apes with nominations. I can't wait to see Andy Serkis not get nominated again because he's a motion capture.
He does such a good job with Caesar that it's, there's this weird stigmata with Academy voters and CGI characters that just really sucks, especially for Andy Serkis.
Yeah. Maybe that's why he's starting to do some live action stuff now.
Yeah, he totally deserves it.
Well, he deserves. Yeah, I mean, Andy totally deserves a nomination, and it's just, it's crazy that every time one of these Apes movies have come out, not only did he not get a nomination, but what has never won the Oscar for doing an Apes movie, because they were all. I mean, we don't know about Mara, but every one of them has been nominated, and they've lost to either. I can't remember what won in 2011, but they've lost. But I know in 2014 they lost to Interstellar.
Mm-hmm.
And
You're telling me the Oscars are politicals? Oh, say it ain't so.
What'd you say about the Oscars?
Do you tell me the Oscars are political? Oh my God, say it ain't so.
Yeah, it's it's what it is, but it's what it is. But yeah, I Andy, you totally reminded me of War for the Planet of the Apes, and I totally forgot about that. I am.
You're welcome.
"Quote unquote" wrong. And I don't know if you're looking at my letterbox, Andy, but yeah, I totally missed it, and I missed Baby Driver too. I love Baby Driver, and I totally missed it. I totally forgot about it. I mean.
There's so many great movies this year.
That movie. Yeah, it's insane. I mean, and it's insane. I mean, to be fair, there were some other bad movies as well, but we won't get into it. It's just don't watch 50 Shades Darker. Just don't, or The Mummy, or
wait, 50 Shades Darker came out in 2017?
Yeah, it felt like two decades ago, but yeah, it did.
Oh wow.
No. You don't understand. 2017 was 3 years long.
Yeah, it was 3 years long, guys. It was 3 years long.
I will say, Kayla, it's interesting that you brought up Baby Driver and it being kind of forgot, but I'm going to see, it's going to be a shame to see that though too, is the fact that because Kevin Spacey is a member of the cast, I will not be surprised if it doesn't get as many nominations as it should because of that. And that's honestly a very, very terrible thing to see happen and occur because the movie is tarnished by the actions of one of the actors.
Mm-hmm. It's like a weird guilty by association.
Yeah, it's weird, but the thing is too is I don't think Sony has done a very good job doing an Oscar campaign for it. Primarily because they're promoting the other movie they successfully got Kevin Spacey out of. That everyone already forgot about, and it felt like it came out 2 decades ago. For those that are not wondering, I'm talking about All the Money in the World.
All the Money in the World, yeah, but that was done. That got reshot in 2 weeks, and Christian Plummer knocked it out of the park.
Yes, but no one. But that movie, I mean,
no one's seeing it.
No one been hearing any. Yeah,
I haven't seen it.
It's gone. It is gone.
All the Money in the World currently this past weekend was number 24 in the box office, with $377,000.
Is that ironic?
A little bit.
All the money in the world
made $39 million worldwide.
Oops.
But way to go, Ridley. You got a pervert out of your movie. Good job.
Yeah.
And I mean that sincerely.
That was some hustle, honestly.
It was incredible. But we're getting a little off topic. But so going back to yours, Nick, Blade Runner 2049. I did forget it, but the thing is, I haven't rewatched it since I've seen it in theaters, and I meant to. I just haven't had time, and also it's not at the Red Box yet.
Well, that's probably why you haven't seen it again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can see it on like Amazon for like $6 or something. But yeah, it's just I haven't had a chance, but yeah, it's an excellent visual experience. So it's an incredible. Totally get where you're coming from, and it's a really fascinating story. And the more I think about the movie, it totally holds up. Like, yeah, there was some controversy about the lack of female characters in the movie, but I think that was part of the point of the story. Yeah.
For Blake, there's controversy about that? There's plenty of female characters in there.
Well, there wasn't like fully developed. That's what the argument was, but I think that was the point, is that this was more of his story, but in the end, ultimately, it's not his job. He's not the chosen one, so it's the other person, but that's beside the point. I still like the movie. I can't wait to see what Denis Villeneuve does with his Dune movie. Dear God.
If he ever gets that off the ground, I have a feeling that movie's going to be cursed.
I mean, wow. I mean, way to go, Villeneuve.
Oh, I'm sure if he can make a Dune movie, it'll probably be fantastic. I'm just saying, Dune's a weird movie to adapt.
Well, Kyle MacLachlan,
a weird book.
I'm gonna be pissed.
It'll be a weird movie to make, because we've already tried it once, and that was whatever that was. Yeah.
I'm saying Kyle MacLachlan.
Good luck with that.
Well, it's really, really dry, guys. It's
Superman.
Did it?
Podcast over.
Anyway, but yeah, that was also another movie. Also, like Planet of the Apes, it also kind of just came and went. Like a lot of our sci-fi movies. No, Blade Runner.
Oh.
No, Blade.
Well, yeah, because no one went to go see Blade Runner.
Well, anyway, but yeah, it's weird how our sci-fi movies just kind of came and went. That's kind of my point.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because even Star Wars is space opera still, so.
What do you mean? Are you saying The Last Jedi came and went?
No, I'm saying Star Wars is the exception because it's
okay.
Because it's space opera.
Well, I was going to say, because people are talking about how it's underperforming, and I'm like, you're wrong, because it beat the number 2 movie of the year by over 100 million, and it's still going. So,
yeah, well, it's not going to hit Force Awakens numbers.
It never was. I've been saying that for 2 years.
But we live in a weird world where it's like you'd be like, that's great, but Disney's like crap.
No, Disney is not thinking that at all. This movie is the 9th highest grossing movie of all time. They're happy.
Yeah, but it could have made another billion.
No.
No.
That will never happen again. That was a trifecta of like just crazy scenarios that just all helped The Force Awakens just explode all over all of our faces.
Well, I'm sorry, you also wait 10 years to release another film in a franchise that's been kind of dead since the 80s.
Yeah.
It kind of builds up. Build that up.
So yeah, that happened with Jurassic World. I forgot that also exploded. No way, Fallen Kingdom is going to make that much. Speaking of our most look forward to movies of 2018.
Life cannot be contained. Life breaks free. Life finds a way.
Well,
I think I'm getting
before
ahead of
we get
myself.
No, that was a great
Before we
segue.
Well, you know what? Yeah, go ahead, Chris. Talk about 2018.
Oh, really? I get to start?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, my most
whatever.
look forward to film is Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Because I have no idea what that movie's about. And I'm really curious.
The
There's a
trailer was
volcano?
absolute garbage.
There's a volcano. There's Jeff Goldblum. There's dinosaurs running away from a volcano. There's Chris Pratt getting burned alive from whatever that ash is. Because I know everyone on the internet talked about how he's supposed to burn to death immediately from that. And the director saying everything in the trailer is in the first 50 minutes of a 2-hour movie. I'm really curious to see what that movie actually is, because it seems like it might be inconsistent and tonally weird.
That wasn't the director. It said he's the executive producer.
Oh, yeah, not the director. The director of the last movie, who's also a writer.
Yeah.
So I'm really anticipating that, because I'm like, that seems like that's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, Colin Trevorrow, the director who is so great, he got himself off a Star Wars movie. Is there ever going to be another big movie that has someone attached to it, and then is it going to be immediately replaced by someone else at least twice? Well, it wasn't immediately replaced.
Oh, well, kind of.
Colin Trevorrow has been on the project for like 2 years, or Star Wars Episode 9 for 2 years. So
yeah,
he was on it.
Well, they didn't really. Well, they wouldn't have started it until like now, right? Or like a few months ago.
No, the stories and stuff would have been all as soon as I assume that everybody that helped Ryan write 8, for continuity stuff. They started as soon as 8 started filming. They would start working on 9.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Well, also, not to keep going on the Colin Trevorrow thing, but
how hard is it to make a Star Wars movies, guys? It's super easy to make a Star Wars movie. Did you forget?
Talk to Ryan Johnson. Poor guy. He made one of the best Star Wars movies, and he's still getting shit.
Dude, he's tweeting like a champ, though.
Yeah.
He's almost like hitting those Wendy tweets levels.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Go for it, dude. You deserve it. I mean, you deserve to go down fighting.
I don't think he's gonna. But he's not going down? He's got another 3 to make, right?
Yeah, because Disney actually knows and accepts that he made a great film.
That's still to be determined. Kathleen Kennedy hasn't actually come out and said if she's still continuing with that plan to make a trilogy for him.
Is he going to get replaced by someone else?
So, like I said, she might actually back out of that deal with the trilogy for him.
Man, we'll see.
Well, she'd be crazy.
Yeah, I don't think she would do that.
The Star Wars franchise is a weird roller coaster, and I can't wait to see where it goes.
Well, the reason why is because she doesn't want to get polarizing. She's trying to keep her job, and she doesn't want to be polarizing to the point where she's going to be hiring a director that is so polarizing fans right now. And there's a lot of people that did not like The Last Jedi. I hate to say that, but it's true.
No, I definitely agree. Every week since it's come out, more and more have come out of the woodwork.
So, like, she's gonna business wise, it makes sense for her to kind of back out of that deal and maybe not bank on a whole trilogy on him. Maybe just maybe she tests another director to see how they go. I personally don't think that J.J. Abrams should have gotten the 3rd film, but that's a whole other argument in and of itself.
I guess we'll talk more. Well, we'll talk more about the Star Wars thing when Solo comes out in about 3 or 4 months from now. But the reason why I think Kathleen Kennedy would be crazy to drop Ryan Johnson is because that's the only director that's currently had like 0 issues on their production. Everybody else has had either been replaced or had issues with Kathleen Kennedy. Even Abrams has had issues with when they were working on Episode 7. So it would be absolutely insane of her to drop him.
I like how in the segment for what we're supposed to talk about of 2018, we're talking about Star Wars, but we're not talking about the Star Wars movie coming out in 2018.
Oh God.
We're talking about the one coming out next year. And after that, has anyone? I want to ask a question. In one word, describe what you think the Han Solo movie is going to be like.
Garbage.
Just rapid fire, go. No order, go. Garbage. Anybody else?
Overplayed.
Clunky.
Anything else? Any other words?
Fan four stick.
Fan four stick. Yes.
Played out.
Played out. Well, that's two, but that's a. I'll give you a pass. Gail?
I said mediocre.
Oh, you said mediocre. I'm gonna say mediocre. I'm gonna say lukewarm.
That's 2 words.
Kale, if you ever say mediocre,
no,
you have to say it
totally
like
one
Joe.
word, isn't it? Lukewarm.
Mediocre.
You had one word, and you had a 2-word one.
I know, but
lukewarm is one word.
Is it one word?
It's one word.
I'll let it pass.
Also, no one got the pun, I guess.
I got it.
I didn't want to say anything. But yeah, it's
the internal temperature of a tauntaun.
Dun, 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 dun. It doesn't take long to turn into a Star Wars podcast, does it?
No, we're very Star Wars obsessed. But yeah, here's the thing about Solo is I think because I rewatched Rogue One last month.
I feel like every week you tell me you rewatch Rogue One.
Well, you should.
Well, here's the thing. That movie also experienced similar issues that Solo had. It just wasn't like as public.
Right.
And it still turned out to be a fine movie.
It didn't change directors. Oh, sorry.
What?
I mean, it didn't change directors like midway through, or like its reshoots were like standard reshoots.
But I mean, they brought in Tony Gilroy to help Gareth Edwards, to be right beside Gareth Edwards. So
he's like, to be right beside him and give him a shoulder massage, telling him it'll be all okay.
It's like ghost directing, essentially, if that term exists. But it's like, or force directing. Tony Gilroy was.
He force projected himself into the. I don't know where I'm going with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but anyway, that's why I think Han Solo it'll be fine because I don't think.
I thought you just said Todd Solo.
I'm Todd Solo.
I'm Han's long lost twin brother, Todd Solo. That would be the twist of the movie right there. That's the reason why it's only called Solo. It's not called Han Solo. It's just called Solo. It's actually about the secret Solo twin brother.
No, it's his cousin,
not Han.
Long lost surfer dude who just happened to show up on the Falcon one day.
Yeah.
Oh, here. But yeah, I think Han Solo will be fine, even though it's pretty much racing to its May release date. It's not even like
it's rushing to its grave.
Yeah, it's just like. But you know what? I have to give it to Kathleen Kennedy. She, solved a problem, and we'll see how it turned out.
Well, anyway.
So Avengers Infinity War. Is anyone excited about that?
Of course.
Yeah. We're all a bunch of nerds who have nothing else to talk about but Avengers and Star Wars and other stuff like that.
Ready Player One? Anyone? Steve Spielberg?
Sign up now for Loot Crate.
Ready Player One is
$9.99 a
my
month.
number one.
Oh,
sorry, what's that?
Ready Player One is my number one, most anticipated.
Can we start our least anticipated? Because my least anticipated is Ready Player One.
I will. Oh my god, I will go with Ready Player One as well because I don't get the hate for that movie, and it looks like another good Spielberg movie.
I literally will probably watch that movie 10 times in the theater just to watch all the background characters to see all the Easter eggs.
And that's exactly why I'm not looking forward to it. But I'm a curmudgeon. Let me point that out.
Chris, why don't you, justify?
I'm not saying it'll be a bad movie. I'm just saying that I will not like it. And that matters. I guess.
Wait, do you not like Easter eggs, or do you not?
No,
like movies?
I don't like a lot of stuff happening in the background. Like all those trailer shots where you see like Chun-Li, Tracer, the Ninja Turtles, the Battletoads, or whatever those were. Like when you see all that, I'm just kind of like my eyes glaze over, and I'm just like, oh, I just start thinking about other things.
Okay.
Not really my thing. I think it's going to be whatever.
Okay. Well, I mean,
if it's a fun
yeah,
movie, great. But
okay.
I don't get it. I looked at it and I thought, oh, that looks terrible.
I mean, I don't. Because I guess I defend it. I don't know. But I don't know. All the visual effects are in the trailers. I think look fine. It's it's in like a VR reality that's not based in like it's supposed.
It has
to
the baked-in excuse of looking bad because it's a video game.
Yeah, it's supposed to look video game.
It's supposed to look. It does look stylized. I'll give it that.
Yeah, it's supposed to be stylized. And yeah, I mean, I don't think some of the effects are finished. In some of the trailers, the last one looked pretty. I think they had a featurette that everything looked pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. I think that one is gonna like.
Oh no! Someone left.
Oh shit! Okay.
Oh, go ahead. Well, go ahead, Andy. Andy will come back and join us.
Oh, sorry for interrupting Andy.
I'm sorry for interrupting you for talking about how Andy interrupted you.
Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Ready Player One will change people's minds.
I'm excited to see. Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I'm very excited for Ready Player One because it's Spielberg, going back to sci-fi blockbuster. And while we've had Spielberg doing blockbusters, I really think the last like really good blockbuster Spielberg has done, and I don't count Minority Report because Minority Report does get downright depressing at times.
A little bit.
But the last bit of Spielberg that we've ever truly Spielberg heart and all was, I think, Jurassic Park. Like really, that was the last time we got Spielberg with his heart and totally in a big bombastic blockbuster. So I hope this is a return to form because while I love The Post,
he said with a question mark.
I hope it is a return to form because I love movies like The Post and Bridge of Spies, but I kind of miss Spielberg that was just kind of fun and had a lot of heart and made the bad guy in a dinosaur novel by Michael Crichton kind of a fun naive grandpa. That Spielberg.
That was a coherent train of thought. Didn't he do the BFG?
Yeah,
Yes.
and that was boring, and that was kind of boring.
He also did The Terminal, though, and that was actually wonderfully done for how low budget it was. And he also did Saving Private Ryan, I think, or he produced that.
He directed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I probably did. So, I'm excited.
Yeah. Oh, was Andy back right now?
Yes, I am. My computer shut off for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh okay. I interrupted you for.
It enjoyed. Your computer was enjoying the non-cast from earlier better.
Yeah. What were you gonna say about Ready Player One though?
I just am super excited for all the 80s nostalgia and all the Easter eggs that like I mentioned earlier. And it seems like a really cool idea for a sci-fi adventure. Obviously some people are like with the book and everything, a lot of people already know what to expect. I haven't read it, so I don't know, but I've heard really mixed. I've heard that it's an amazing book and I've heard that it's really not a good book. So we'll see.
I will say, because I read the book, I will say that it's not it's not a bad book. I think there are some issues it has, but it's not as terrible as people are making it. I think there was this one thing that went viral with there's a long paragraph listing all these 80 like nostalgic things happening, and like he's taking his DeLorean while Max Headroom is his like AI while he like puts on his like Ferris Bueller jacket, and like did anyone see that photo that went viral or someone like posted that where it's like, oh, this is like why it sucks, but like all the nostalgia which it's criticized for, like there's a reason for it, because it's this it's in this like really like
it's in a post-apocalyptic
and
world.
like yeah, it's pretty it's kind of apocalyptic in a way, but it's like all the nostalgia has a point. It's like because the world is like so like accept the past, so they just kind of like glamorize like the 80s, like all these like eras of like pop culture, because they have to like trying to find this Easter egg. So yeah, I mean, I really don't get the criticism that it's like it's just 80s porn, I guess. So that was just my thing to add.
Yeah, I mean, it's the 80s nostalgia. It's basically just background. Like it's just
it's just like
yeah. It's all
just in the background. It's not like it's not really like, oh, here's look at all these references and this isn't this cool. I mean, there's some cool stuff with these references, but like you have like him watching like what does he watch? Like not All in the Family. He watches like some Different Strokes or something, because like he's an orphan, so he doesn't have a family. He's like, oh, I wish I had that. So all the stuff. Sorry, that's just me going off on a tangent, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Does anybody else have any other like most anticipated movies of 2018?
I said it earlier. Incredibles 2 in the pre podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Incredibles.
What movie?
Incredibles 2.
Oh, yeah. Another movie we haven't seen much of. We only have seen like a couple clips.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's Pixar though.
Sure.
And
it just feels sure. It just feels a lot of 2018 stuff is kind of being kept under the wraps.
Mm-hmm. I will add one more. Would really looking forward to Isle of Dogs.
Oh yeah,
that looks really goofy.
Oh
yeah, everyone loves dogs.
Everyone loves dogs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking at
Are we just rapid firing naming off stuff?
Red Sparrow looks really good, even though that it should be Black Widow.
That's a weird criticism to have. I'm looking forward to MI6, which is
so we can finally see that mustache.
Yeah, so we can finally see the mustache.
The mustache. Hey, what is it? Can anyone like also just like also think it would have been, instead of like spending $5 million on that mustache to erase it, like couldn't they have just given him a beard? Wouldn't that have been like so much more easier? Like if Superman had a beard,
probably would have looked better.
And
well, yeah,
like if he was in like a coma and he was kind of alive, so like his facial hair is growing.
Honestly, it doesn't really matter because
mm-hmm.
The movie suffered from so many plot fuck ups, so that's like the least of its problems.
Oh man, I saw.
Well, Andy,
so wouldn't it have been easier for them to audio or edit a mustache onto him in that movie as opposed to us having to watch them take one off of him in this in Justice League?
I think but someone even worse.
That was studios being stupid and not being like rational.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I think if you put a fake mustache on someone through CGI, I feel like that might be worse than taking off their mustache.
No, but
you can do a prosthetic.
They have prosthetic mustaches.
Oh yeah, they could have. Yeah, I think Paramount was just being a dick though.
Yep, they're like, no, don't. Even though that's super easy to pull off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there were a lot of better solutions for mustache Superman. Though
Mustachioed Superman.
I really wanted to see how he looked in the costume with that mustache. Like if they have a BTS, like some sort of like still or something, I would like pay top dollar.
they spend more money to CGI the behind the scenes to remove the mustache further.
No, I think
Removing
they
all
would keep
traces
that
of
just
it.
like, look. Yeah.
Well,
Trying to erase the image from your mind.
well, the irony of Mission Impossible 6 is that they're still filming the movie.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
that's
still
right, yeah.
filming the. Yeah, they've been filming for 9 months because of I think it was the Tom Cruise
Yeah, he had an
incident that kinda
accident.
delayed it. Yeah, so so the funniest part is they're still filming that movie. They could have just waited if they would have planned better. Or yeah, it's just that I would be surprised if that movie still made the release date. But then, hey, Mission Impossible 5, they shortened the post production on that movie as well. So who knows what's going to happen? But anyways,
sure. Yeah.
So my most anticipated movie of 2018 is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
I forgot.
Yeah, that looks really cool. Like all the visuals in that film look so like out of this world.
I was gonna say,
it looks like.
who wants to go first?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay, well, I'll say something real quick. The visuals could have easily been boring, Despicable Me, flat angles, and just boring. But I like the style of Into the Spider-Verse. Like it looks good. Like it, not that it looks good. It looks good.
For sure.
It looks visually dynamic, and the shot of Miles, it looks like him going up into the ground of him. That shot of him just going up. It looks so cool, and it's a shot I've been wanting to see out of these Spider-Man movies, but they all just go for the generic, glide down.
Mm-hmm.
Which it's a cool shot. It's just that was like the first time I feel like I've ever seen one of those of just like Spider-Man just going like upside down into the building. So yeah, and also I kind of like this idea of doing Spider-Man, but have multiple Spider-Mans. Normally I would be like, why are we having multiple Batmans now, or why can everyone now do this? But then.
Well, that's what they're doing in the comic.
Yeah, they figured out how to make it work in the comic. So
it's like his apprentice or protege.
Yeah. So yeah, I kind of I'm just gonna be forgiving, and I just want to. And also, it'll be a nice, change. It'll be nice. Like we can finally see different Spider-Mans, because I've been wanting to see a Miles Morales for a while. So. It'll be interesting going forward and seeing what they come up with Christmas Day. Another thing I wanted to talk about is Aquaman.
Oh yeah.
Looking forward to the DC, anything DC related.
Oh Aquaman. Right, that's in December.
Or to Flashpoint that I am anything from DC.
I'm looking forward to Wonder Woman 2 and Aquaman.
Andy, do you have any thoughts? Oh, sorry, James.
And the Batman. With Jake Gyllenhaal.
I'm just gonna wait for trailers because everything about this universe, except for Wonder Woman, has been a colossal disappointment.
Yeah, I think I'm in that same boat. Even though I would love to see James Wan's Aquaman. What?
Yeah, we just so is DC.
But the problem is we've been burned so many times. I mean, we've been, and it's just been getting worse and worse. I mean, look, Wonder Woman is fantastic, but I think that's the reason. But I think it's made this whole timeline thing and what Flashpoint now has to do even more complicated, because now they have to explain why Batman's out of the game and maybe Superman, but Wonder Woman is still there. It's just like...
No, you can just recast.
Just recast the whole people?
Yep.
That's what they did with Avengers. Nobody cared.
think people would care a little bit if Ben Affleck got replaced in Superman.
I personally
I think
didn't
some
like him.
people would.
I thought he was a subpar Batman.
It's better. Okay, this is not a good bar, but it's better than George Clooney.
That's like below the bar. Like that's not hard to beat.
I know. I was just like, well,
Right.
he's kind of as good as Val Kilmer.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Ben Affleck's Batman is like he acts well as Batman, but he's just written so stupidly. Like he's like angry and like kills people.
Batman always has the worst plans in this series. Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna fight Superman without a plan. I'm gonna revive Superman without a plan.
It just was not that proof. It wasn't bulletproof.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's just like, I hope this rock works. That I haven't tested on anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. His Batman,
I hope these mother boxes work.
His Batman does need improvement. But I think he's fine enough.
Well, and also what we're talking about is it's more the writing, not the performance.
Yeah.
Not Affleck himself.
Because he acts well as like Bruce Wayne. Like I'd buy him as Bruce Wayne. I'd buy him as like Batman for the most part.
Yeah, it's that. Yeah, that's the thing is it's a good performance. It's just not a good Batman. It's just not very well written. That's always been the issue with Ben Affleck in these movies, and also I would say the same for Superman as well. It's just I think Henry Cavill is doing the best he can. It's just not very well written. Just not very well thought out by the Thierio, Snyder, and Goyer camp. But are we so? But yeah, Aquaman we're kind of soft on.
Hopeful but soft.
Yeah, I'm not excited to see this franchise.
It's not like I have to change my clothes to talk about it.
Sorry, sorry, I don't want to spend in all day.
But so and to kind of wrap it up, is anyone looking forward to any of the other non MCU DC related movies like the Fox Marvel movies, like not New Mutants or Deadpool 2 and Dark Phoenix or Sony's Venom?
So I'm looking. Two different movies. I'm sorry, I didn't mention them earlier. But one is 1517 to Code. Which looks really interesting because it's Clint Eastwood. It's a non one of those movies. It's a non.
Am I the only one looking forward to Mamma Mia 2?
For you, man. I mean, the other one I'm looking at is First Man with Damien Chazelle.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that will be pretty good.
With Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, and it will be the first movie that Damien Chazelle doesn't have jazz in it. Although he could secretly work it in there.
Maybe.
Maybe Neil Armstrong had a thing for jazz.
Yeah.
And Super Troopers too.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
That was so long ago. Super Troopers.
Yeah. I'll go with Creed 2.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Creed 2? Is that this year?
I don't think that would be this year. They just announced the casting.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I'm disappointed about that is that Ryan Coogler isn't returning for that.
Well, yeah, I mean he's not returning, but I mean that cast makes me want to watch the movie just for them at least. Like Dolph Lundgren's returning. It'll be cool.
Oh, I didn't know Dolph Lundgren. I'm super hyped now.
Yeah. Well, it's supposed to be his son, so fighting Creed So, vengeance for Apollo should be the tagline.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's still announced for 2018, so I guess it counts. I don't know.
Well, I think they're still planning on filming like in late March, early April, which will give and since it's not like a big visual effects movie,
Yeah.
I think it could still work.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't take that long to edit it. But...
Oh, to segue into what is a visually effects heavy movie, Annihilation.
Oh shit! Yeah, that looks awesome.
And that looks very bizarre, which is a good thing because I mean, it looks bizarre in a good way.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I'm excited for that primarily because I like Ex Machina, and I want.
Also, what's weird is that a lot of if you guys go onto the IMDb for Annihilation, a lot of the main cast of characters don't even have actual names.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious what that's all about.
It probably has something to do with the novel. I think. Maybe I'm thinking wrong, but maybe it's just something with a novel. I don't know. But yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting. Anyone looking forward to A Wrinkle in Time?
No,
not at all.
Yeah.
That trailer is such like warm pudding. I don't even know what that means.
What?
But there is no but. Warm pudding.
You said warm pudding?
Yeah, warm pudding. I don't know what that means, but it's warm.
Yeah.
Because why would you? Well, wait a minute. You eat pudding warm. I don't know, but I don't think it looks good. It looks boring.
Jesus.
Oh no! It looks pretty dope.
It looks like a Disney Channel movie.
It does.
Yeah,
look
no.
It is a Disney movie.
It looks,
No, it looks
500 more than a Disney movie.
No, I mean, like it looks like it was shot like a Disney movie.
No, like the cinematography of that film looks
boring.
Anyone else excited for Crimes of Grindelwald?
No, it doesn't.
Crimes of Grindelwald. Yeah, I like Fantastic Beasts well enough. So sure, more of that is neat. Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider.
That looks fun. I think that's going to be a fun movie. I hope it is. It just looks bombastic and fun, and I was watching Jumanji last month, and that also had like a video game kind of feel to it, video game structure.
I would think so.
Yeah, it has, and it was fun. Like how they handled it is fun. Like you can do a video game movie. Like I mean, even Ready Player.
As long as it's actually set in a video game.
Yeah, it's gonna be fine.
But that's in a video game. Not in.
I mean, yeah, Tomb Raider will be set in, like, I guess, reality or some
it's
reality.
Something.
But yeah, I think it's gonna be fun.
Oh,
I don't know.
almost forgot. Ocean's 8.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I saw the trailer. Got me. I was like, all right, I get it.
What about Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet?
Sure.
Yeah,
there's gonna be. Are there gonna be memes in that movie? Are there gonna actually be like memes in the movie? Like he's gonna find a meme.
Who knows?
Because I don't. That movie's gonna be painful.
I mean,
there's gonna be so much internet humor.
I would look forward to it if I saw more of it, but I haven't seen any trailers, and I didn't go to like anything. So
I like our general consensus of like, what are we looking forward to 2018? I don't know. I haven't seen enough yet.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, it's weird because we've seen some stuff for spring, but we have really not seen anything at all for most of the summer stuff. I mean, we've seen only snippets of Deadpool 2, and we've only seen snippets of Incredibles 2. We've only seen snippets of things that are coming out in June and July and August. And I mean, we've seen more of 2019 because of New Mutants being moved than we have of some of the stuff in 2018.
I got you. I got the movie that's gonna knock over everyone's socks for the rest of the year. Ready for it?
Knock over their socks.
Yeah, knock over the socks. Not knock them off. Knock them over.
No.
Rampage. Starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
I want to be
Over by the
excited
rock.
because that seems like it'd be fun,
Mhm.
but it looks so boring.
I know it does. It looks so bad.
Isn't it sad that we think that a giant gorilla rampaging a city and a crocodile and a giant wolf all rampaging a city is boring? Isn't that weird?
I think that's weird that Death Wish and Red Sparrow both come out the same day.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
I think no one's gonna see either.
I would rather see Red Sparrow than like Death Wish remake. Like why even remake Death Wish?
Everyone.
Yeah.
I'm surprised no one said anything about Pacific Rim. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Sherlock Gnomes.
Wait, what?
Oh
Sherlock
yeah,
Gnomes.
Sherlock Gnomes.
Oh Jesus!
No God.
I saw the trailer for that.
Excited. I love Romeo and Juliet.
You do?
Well,
Yeah.
Juliet.
Wait. Okay, hold on. Is this a bit?
No,
Or...
I'm being completely serious.
Okay, but
There's also a movie coming out with Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly where they're going to play Sherlock Holmes. And
Wait,
Watson.
what?
I'm not even kidding about that.
Yeah,
They're both going to
announced
play
it.
Sherlock Holmes.
No, they're going to play.
So Sherlock Holmes is now.
That would actually be fun, seeing two different Sherlock Holmes on screen together. I don't know how that would work, but that'd be fun.
that'd be a fun gag if they had that. Like if they cameoed.
I'm
Don't
Sherlock
be,
Holmes. No, I'm
It's
Sherlock
like, no,
Holmes.
I'm Sherlock Holmes. They try to out Sherlock each other,
What about the Predator?
Oh,
and it
yeah,
keeps
the
cutting back
Predator.
to their two. Oh,
Yeah.
geez, yeah. the
Predator would be cool if like also if you saw something for it besides like that one poster.
I have no idea.
But that that
Is-
poster does look nice. I will say that.
Is it? What's it set over? It looks like it's set over just. It looks like it's more like a successor to Predator 2 than.
Oh, well, it's
you know.
gonna be. I think it's like Predator in the Suburbs is what.
Yeah, which was Predator 2.
No, Predator 2 is Predator in the concrete jungle
Whatever.
with Danny
Predator in
Glover.
the no. I'll never get my dream Predator movie.
There's
Or
a
my
romantic-
dream.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'll never get my Alien. I mean, my Alien v Predator dream movie, like the real Alien versus Predator movie that we'll never get,
No.
and you'll hate me for talking about it.
It's
The
all
general
good.
idea is that there's no humans in the movie, and the main character is a predator, and he has some like rite of passage on a planet, and due to circumstances, he's like the only one left alive or something, and it's just like he's got to survive. It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger and the Predator, but this time it's a predator and an alien or two.
That'd
And
be
there's
cool.
no dialogue, like no subtitles. Everything's conveyed, through like, facial expressions through the actor. There's no humans. Let me clarify that. And it's just the Predator like against aliens on a planet.
That'd be
And
really
it's
cool.
like him. It's like his tech. You got the whole like, oh, his tech isn't working. He's got to like build tools and stuff. And you can see like, you can play with that idea. That's what I want. And that's never going to happen because you don't have any big names to sell the movie.
Apparently, there's a romantic comedy called Crazy Rich Asians.
Say what?
Say what?
Oh, geez, that's a crazy title.
It comes out in September. Or sorry, August.
What about Bumblebee?
Oh, Johnny English 3.
We're just naming things now. We're not even talking about them.
The house with the clock on the wall.
What's up?
The house with a clock on its walls.
Wow, that's.
They're getting really creative with these titles.
I wonder if that's an indie movie.
Oh, you guys did mention Venom earlier. When they showed when they started coming out with the report saying like, "Oh, we got our first look at Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock," I'm like, it looks like Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
I keep
Tom
imagining.
Hardy, Tom Hardy took a selfie.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, this is a real one. Halloween.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, that. I'm really excited for Halloween. That's gonna be.
I'm confused. What exactly is the continuity with this Halloween movie, the new one coming out.
It's after 2.
So it's Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes.
No, like this is like it's taking away H2O and replacing it basically.
Oh, okay. So we're recanonizing. So this is an alternate timeline?
Yeah, I would assume so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it has her kid, she has like a daughter now instead or something.
Okay. Crazy. Oh, hey,
If I remember right.
Kale's phone died. He said that we should talk about Black Panther. That's what he's messaging.
Oh, right. That is about to come out.
That looks awesome.
Like every black actor in the world is apparently vying for that movie.
Yes. Yeah, everyone's in
the two white guys sticking out.
Yeah. But no, that'll be pretty awesome. Like, because Black Panther's such a cool character in Marvel, and he's never really, he's never had his own film, and he's been in film, but it'll be cool, and it seemed like Wakanda on screen, this mystical, technically advanced world.
Yeah. Well, it's a weird position because we know from the Infinity War trailer that it's like, oh, all of Wakanda is going to be fighting like an army of aliens, right? So that'll be fun to see. So it'll be it's like a little teaser almost of that, of like seeing how they work and stuff. So I guess then you got stakes going forward into Infinity War. So, it's going to be like, oh, I can't wait. All these people are going to get wrecked by aliens, or vice versa. They're going to wreck the aliens. So can't wait for that. But it's weird. Black Panther. It's funny because you have the two, like Martin Freeman and Andy Serkis, who had very small roles in previous films, now getting pseudo expanded here, and it's kind of funny how that works out. But that cast is fantastic. I can't wait.
That scene where they're talking to each other, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to not see Bilbo and Gollum.
Right. I really hope they're if it's not lame or something, there could be some sort of in joke.
Yeah. There's probably going to be a little Easter egg reference in there.
Yeah, he's take off your ring to go through here.
Or no, Andy Serkis is going to be wearing a ring, and Martin Freeman's going to be like, "Nice ring," and Andy Serkis is like, "You want it?"
Yeah. Right.
Oh no, I think I'm right. He's going to be wearing a ring. Martin Freeman's going to be like, "Oh, that's a nice ring," and he takes it off. And he's like, "Wait, you want it?" And he's like, "I'll pass." That's what it's going to be. I'm putting money down on that.
No.
Right. Yeah.
Or he says precious at one point.
Oh, that's too on the nose.
No. Martin Freeman needs to say something about, because what's his name lost his hand in the previous movie. So there needs to be but it'd be hey, do you want to borrow this or not? Or I got this really cool new piece of jewelry. Do you want to wear? I mean, not like gadget. But you have to put it on your finger though. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I like mine. I think mine's just what's going to happen. Does he have a prosthetic? I'm looking at the poster. It looks like he's got it looks like a hand, like it's a prosthetic hand. But it's it turns into a gun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like his so he's claw, so it's like a sound. It's like a he emits sound waves, something like that.
Yeah. So he shoots it out the car. Oh, so are we gonna get Martin Freeman and Benedict Cumberbatch on screen together in the Marvel movies?
Maybe.
No, I don't think so.
Also,
I just want a scene where Martin Freeman says, "No shit, Sherlock," and he's talking to both Tony Stark and Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Soul Stone is going to be in Wakanda?
Yeah, no.
No, definitely, yeah.
It's more or less confirmed.
Yeah. Because that's why they'd be even fighting there.
Yeah.
I think they might lose it, guys. I have a sneaking suspicion they're not going to win. In Infinity War.
Oh.
Yep.
There was an idea to bring together a group of remarkable people.
To see if we could become something more
So when they needed us, we could fight the battles
That they never could.
So yeah, talked enough about Black Panther. Let's talk about a film.
Nice segue.
Fuck you, Chris.
Yeah, a film that you might be surprised by in 2018 that you'll never join.
The second Pacific Rim movie might be interesting.
Okay.
Got John Boyega in it. It's a movie nobody really asked for, but like at the end of the day, like it might be just as cheesy as it looks from the trailer. But I might enjoy it still. It's still like Rock'em Sock'em Robots versus Aliens. I like that. I like that concept still. And granted, there's like almost the only original cast that are left are Charlie Day and that dude who played the guy with the cane. But everyone else is. But it still might surprise me. I still think it'll be interesting to see that one might be a good solid film. It might not be a great film, but a solid film.
By everything you've got.
Cool.
If I had to pick one, I know some people are like anticipating it, but like I mentioned before, Ready Player One, I might, that might actually be something where I'm like, yeah, that was actually pretty good. Like that was a fun movie. So that's like, I don't want to go into it pessimistic. It's just, I just don't get nostalgia for anything, I guess. So that doesn't appeal to me, but maybe this will like, it's not really about the nostalgia. It's about something else, I guess. But yeah, I would say that could surprise me and be like, oh, okay, yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay. Well, I'm glad maybe you changed your mind.
We'll see.
Yeah.
So yeah, come out.
Yeah.
Oh, Andy, what is a film that you might be surprised by this coming year?
Honestly, almost any of them that we've really talked about that like I really didn't say much. Like are ones that I'm just like, yeah, could be, but you never know. I'm really hopeful though for Cloverfield, even though we know nothing about it.
Yeah,
that one because 10 Cloverfield Lane surprised the hell out of me. Was that 2016 or that was 2016. That one surprised the hell out of me then. So like that would definitely be a shocker if they can keep churning out hits.
Isn't that new Cloverfield movie coming out tomorrow or something? Like it's going to sneak up on us.
No, it's supposed to come out later in the year. They delayed it for whatever reason.
If the next X-Men movie, X-Men Dark Phoenix comes out and that's good, that will surprise me.
Oh God. Yeah, but I don't know with Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Being so whatever.
Yeah, especially now with like the whole Disney acquisition, it's like really up and it's like I don't know what is this just going to stop and they're going to recast everybody. So yeah, Dark Phoenix and everything else is in such a weird position.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know, of course. I think I'll go with it was really random. Bumblebee, the movie.
Really?
Yeah, but because I hate all the Transformers, but it has John Cena, so.
Oh,
I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt just for my man John Cena.
Who's directing Bumblebee? Is it?
It's the guy that did Kubo and the Two Strings, Travis Knight.
Oh, that's different. So, yeah, that actually could surprise. I could see how that could surprise people if it's not like. If it's like completely different from how Michael Bay did Transformers.
Yeah, it'll be.
It had to be completely different.
Mm-hmm. It'll be cool to see someone that actually cares about the Transformers directed for once.
Yeah.
But so that's my choice. So.
Kale, what's yours? Oh wait. Kale disappeared into the ether. He went back to the upside down.
Yeah. There you go. So, just wrapping up here, guys. Thanks for joining us. Where
thank
can
you.
where can everyone find you guys at?
Well, for Kale, you can find him. What's this thing called again?
Youth Critic Podcast.
I'm sorry, you guys cut out a little bit there if you're talking to me.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we were just social media.
You can find me on Twitter at the Talking Can, Letterbox on the Talking Can. Yeah, it's fun times to talk about movies on Twitter.
Definitely.
You can find me on the street corner rambling about Tim Burton and various other topics relating to the new Dumbo movie coming out.
You can find me on Twitter at Nick_Briz, BRIZ. You can find me on Stardust, which I'm still going to do reviews for us coming in the new year as soon as I get a chance to get that up and running. Nick Flicks, all one word, NICK Flicks, like Netflix, but Nick with the Nick in there. And you can find me on Instagram at Mountains Maketh Man, all one word.
Sweet. Yeah. And you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Gene9892. This has been the it's been the Youth Critic Podcast. And thank you for listening.
Yeah. Well, we were your guest hosts for this evening. I hope you had as fun a time as we have had. Although I don't think anything's going to talk about the Wizards and the Eagles and whatever that Groundhog Day, but teenage ejaculation. Man, they missed out on all of that.
We're still live, man.
I know. They missed it. They have to know. They will know the truth.
Yeah.
The family continued to chant, speech, 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 for no one in particular.
But
okay, bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, Gene. To answer Gene's question at the end, what movie am I hoping to be surprised by, or what movie I want to be surprised by? I'm actually wanting to be surprised by Venom. It has a really good cast. I think Tom Hardy could really play Eddie Brock very well, and I think there's potential for a good villain origin story, as we saw with last year's Split. So. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping we get a good, Venom movie, and also after all these years of development, I kind of just want to see it, just to, finally be done with it. And I just hope for the best for everyone. I don't know. I don't think they have the right creative people, but I just hope for the best. And yeah, I did have to, and yeah, we did go through a lot of technical difficulties during this episode. The first one being none of my software was working to record the podcast, so we had to rely on Gene to record the podcast, because the way we do it here is we do it on Google Hangouts, and so Gene used his account to record our podcast, and and we're very, very thankful that he did it. And so yes, please give Gene and the Waffle Press a massive shout out. Gene really did save the day on this episode. Also, we did not record this podcast during post nominee announcement, so the nominees were kind of a surprise to were very much surprise to us. And one more thing before we go, but we are coming back with the retrospective series in the next week or two as we go through the 2008 Best Picture Oscar nominees. This includes Atonement, Juno, Michael Clayton, and There Will Be Blood, and the winner of that year, No Country for Old Men. Brandon and I will be discussing each movie each week in 30-minute episodes. Much like how we did the LA Confidential episode back in December. So look forward to that. It'll probably either come out, the first one being Atonement, it'll probably either come out in this Sunday, the 28th, or the February the 4th. So keep an eye on that. Also, we're now in 2018. We can finally now talk about 2018 stuff. So either this weekend or next week, look for an episode about Insidious Chapter 4, The Commuter, Paddington 2. We'll probably skip last weekend's movies because from what I know, it was not really that good. If I can get a chance, I'll try and get to Proud Mary, since that one is, getting some buzz for both good and bad reasons. And then hopefully I'll find someone that can, that still wants to talk about YA movies, because I kind of do want to say some things about the Maze Runner series. So just be on the lookout for that. But for now, just keep looking at the Youth Critic Twitter page, and that's where you can find all the information on this podcast. And also keep looking at my Twitter at MovieKale for more information on the podcast, and also keeping up with what I do and a lot of my thoughts on the industry. And then also follow this follow the channel that distributes this podcast at KHD Network. So yeah, for now it's just for now we're going into 2018 stuff. We are going to have one more episode with my friend Kay Parker, going through her list, and we'll get a little bit more into my list. We kind of had to just talk about our top films for this podcast because we had so many technical difficulties and we started so late, so we had to kind of just rush in to this episode. So we will talk a little bit more about my top picks of the last year, and we'll also talk about Kate's as well. So yes, that's it for 2017 for now. Kate's podcast will be out around the same time as this episode, so look for that. And keep an eye on the retrospective, and either probably this weekend or next weekend we'll do the retrospective the podcast for some of the January 2018 releases. Thanks for listening, everyone. We will be back with you soon.